My name is James Williams Jr. It is 12th of February. For all you who actually got to go see Deadpool, rock on, because I didn't get to go see it, and hopefully I'll go see it before the weekend's out, unless we get the white powder that they're calling for in the weather. So today, I watched 2020, and if y'all didn't watch, you probably should have, because it was a life lesson that needed to be seen. For over, yay, so many years ago, the Columbine incident, they talked about gun violence amongst the American civilization in general. So to clear this up, at the end of it, and just one of the specifics, because I was bullied in high school, and I don't know what really led up to Columbine, but I know before Columbine, I was pretty damn close to doing it myself. And at the end of the show, they talked about what you could do, the warning signs and things. All right, let me first thank the mother of the killer for being brave enough to come and take accountability. And let me clear this out. For all of y'all who are condemning her, you don't know if you're raising a killer or not until it's too fucking late. Alright? I'm 42 years old. Back when I was 15 and 16 and 17 and 18 and 19 and until I got the hell out of high school and even on some jobs, I still got bullied. And I know Kung Fu. So the hardest part of me getting through that was not killing people. So you can't really say that everybody's innocent. Some of the victims, and I'm not trying to be a dick, I'm not trying to be mean or hard-headed, some of the victims may have picked on these kids, and I'm not defending what the killers did by any means necessary. I'm not doing that. And it's the same thing with the Blacksburg shit. I'm not defending So Chung Hu or whatever, and I'm damn sure not defending the more recent events of the students down there. Alright, let's get that out the way first and foremost, because I like to keep things real, and I like to put my heart and soul into these videos. And a lot of people, I piss off, and I offend. And if I do, fuck you. Alright? If you don't like the truth, go to a different video. If you're going to come to me, you're going to get 109% or you're going to get 99.9. You're going to get what I think you can handle. And so, like I said, I'm not defending the lady, but I'm not condemning her because she's not totally responsible for her children's actions. You cannot watch your child 24/8. You have to work to put clothes on their back. You have to work to put food in their gut. And just like the parents of the victims, she had to work too. You know, generally children of privilege go to schools where they don't have to deal with this stuff. Columbine was a public school. It wasn't no high dollar Ivy League high school. It was a public school. Just like I went to a public school of CHS, and many people who have gone to public schools who have been bullied, things like that lead to Columbine. So at the end of 2020, which is what I was getting to before I went off on my evil ranted tant, the main way to stop things is to communicate with your kids. And kids feel ashamed when they're bullied. I know Kung Fu, and I did not come home and tell my mama there's certain people who were 6'6", and you know who you are, you big bastard. And yes, you probably still drive the city bus. And a couple of other people who academically picked on me through the 8th grade into the 12th grade, or into the 11th grade when I snapped in a certain biology teacher whose last name goes with the fictional hero Indiana, and he has a whip and a hat, and he's dreadfully afraid of snakes. Well, my teacher in that class, and you know who you are, ma'am, you watched them from the beginning of the year until I snapped in class, and then your ass gave me a referral. And people wonder why Columbine and things like that happen. They happen because people aren't doing their fucking job. You come to school to learn. There are bullies in school, and there are not bullies in school. And the bullies need to be removed from the equation. In America, education is a privilege. It's not a right. But when you feel that you can bully someone else and they are scared of you and the teachers are scared of you and the teachers won't do anything but let you get away with it, what the fuck do you expect is going to happen? And that was my side. I don't know about what the hell went on in the head of the Columbine kid. And I really don't give a damn because it's gone. We can't bring none of those lives back. And no matter how much you guys or anybody who watched it hate this woman, you're all fucking wrong. She didn't pull the trigger. Yes, she raised him, but she didn't pull the trigger. She didn't raise him to wake up one morning and say, hey, yeah, I'm going to go to school and just kill every fucking body. No. No parent on earth has ever woke up and said, I'm going to raise my kid to be a stone cold fucking killer. Alright? You might not like what I say. I don't give a fuck. It's the truth. No one on earth gets up every morning and beats, I'm going to kill you, into their kid's head and say, you're going to go to school and you're going to kill everybody. I took Kung Fu since I was 7 years old. I haven't killed anyone, but the thought has never left my mind. Then they talked about suicide and teenage suicide also. I was there. I still have suicidal thoughts to this day due to people bullying me and me not feeling good enough. And part of that might be because of my multi-ethnic heritage. You name it, and someone found a way to pick on me about something in school. And these things, when you're getting picked on all the time and it's all you know and everybody's always putting you down, it does fuck with your psyche. But the word shame comes into play because I wasn't going to call my dad, Dad, I'm getting bullied at school. I'm too ashamed to do that. And parents don't remember how it was to be a kid sometimes. And parents aren't going to tell you, well, I was teased at school too. And you have two ways you can avoid it. You can ignore it and pray that these guys aren't dicks and start picking on you physically and that they will leave you alone, which eventually they will. Or you can go and tell. And the fear of telling is twice as bad as being ashamed. Well, here's my thing on that. You know what? Fuck it. Tell on her. If the teacher doesn't do anything, then we go to option 2. My favorite option. And I'm not going to promote this, so if any kids are watching, do not do this. I took Kung Fu. It wasn't okay for me to do this. But, a lot of the people that threatened me, I said, okay, I'll tell you what. I live at 512 Rougemont. You come and fuck with me after school. When there's nobody around, when you don't have your support group, when it's not more than one of you. Let's see what you got. Either you're going to beat my ass or I'm going to beat yours. Well, here's a tip. None of those fuckers showed up. Alright? A bully is a bitch turned upside down. And 9 times out of 10, a bully will only bully you because they have a crew. If they catch you by themselves, it's a different ballgame. They're not as badass as they think they are. I learned that with some guy at B&R Market who I threatened to throw through the door and the soda machine and the other door. And the good news on that is, when I explained to the guy who was running the store at the time, he was going to allow me to do it because he knows how I felt to be bullied. If it wasn't for my cousin that kept me from pushing this guy's ass inside out, I would have done it. I had a job. I was working at the bowling alley. I could have paid for all the glass. I could have paid for that fucker's hospital bills. But I wouldn't have because he would have fucking deserved it. He was bigger than me, and every day in school he did the same damn thing. Then when I caught him at the store by himself and he wasn't as bad as he thought he was, he backed out. And then he said he wasn't going to do it anymore. But the very next fucking Monday at school, him and his crew, again and again, day after day, until the last day. Well, on the last day, I took some things to school. They kind of resemble these things I bought my little nephew. They're called nunchucks. Now, I do promote martial arts. And I think that every little kid that doesn't seem to be growing like the rest of the kids, like me, because I wasn't getting any taller. By the time I was in like the 5th grade, I was probably about as tall as I was going to get. By the time I got to high school, I was 5'3". And I guess I got that 1/2 inch by the time I graduated. I've never been a big guy. But I learned at a little age that the bigger they are, the harder I get to hit them. And sometimes you need to do that. And I'm not saying you got to go and hit everybody that's bullying you. But what I am saying is if you knock the one that's got the biggest mouth out, the rest of the motherfuckers is going to either leave you alone or they're going to want to try you. So here's the tip. Divide and conquer. Genghis Khan style. Attila the Hun. Kublai Khan. The Art of War is a good book to read. I don't recommend you following anything that you read in that book. But, the whole point is, if the kids don't feel safe in school, they're going to retaliate eventually. And you can't feel safe in school if the teachers don't do anything when you're going to school and you're learning and you're sitting there and it's hard to keep your grades up when people are in your face all the time picking on, oh, you're short. Oh, you're not getting any pussy. Oh, we play football and you don't. You're a punk. You're a bitch. You're a fagamuffin. And we're going to kick your ass. And you hear this shit on a daily and you think no one's going to do anything. I'm not playing toward the killers. and I feel wholeheartedly for the victims of Columbine. I honestly, truly, God, I feel sorry for every last person that was wounded or killed in there. And way back in that day when that happened, I was going through some stuff of my own, and my college was about to become Columbine, but I was going to use a samurai sword because I don't believe in using guns. And swords are up close and personal. And it's also the only weapons that I prefer to use because it's all I know. The thing about it is, though, you can't go to school if the kids in school are bullying you and the teachers and the principals and them only protect the academically cool kids or the ones that play sports and can do what they want. Sooner or later, the kids are going to lash out. And it's only a matter of time before it becomes a big fucking eruption, and even a great Kamehameha couldn't stop what's about to happen. Now let me shift gears. Since Virginia has had maybe 4 or 5 incidences in colleges, and especially in my area, UVA hasn't really had anything. We've just had some kidnappings and some killing. But Blacksburg is just right up the road with the Hokies. Go Hokies. All those guys on April the 16th, way back when I can't pronounce his name, but he was a little Korean fella. When it first came out, because it also happened on my sibling's birthday, I was at work. I'm thinking to myself, this can't be real. It's kind of like the same feeling that I had when 9/11 happened. I was half asleep, and then I heard Ann Curry scream, and I came to life. And the thing is, when the guy at Columbine did his thing, I was old enough that I was in college, and it was in the same year that I was having my issues with 3 black people dying in 2 months' time, and the teacher calling me a liar. All right, and she knows who she is, if she's still alive, when God bless her and whatever, because I don't really care anymore. But I never finished school because of her. Anyway, with Blacksburg, the whole thing with that was basically petty jealousy. This is why it's important for you girls out here to give guys closure so that you don't wind up dead. And it wasn't too long either before or after that where they had the same damn incident where a dude cut his girlfriend's head off in the fucking food court and nobody did anything. They just watched. No one tried to stop him. No one tried to save her. No one did nothing. I used to watch a show called Vanishing Sun, and they used to use a whole bunch of Chinese proverbs, and it was Chinese characters. One of my idols, Russell Wrong, was in it, and his sensei had once told him, all it takes for evil to succeed is for good men to stand by and do nothing. That has never been more truer than life than in Columbine and in Blacksburg twice in a row, with the whole Morgan Harrington, with the whole Hannah Graham thing. As long as you all sit by and do nothing, nothing gets done. And evil will always win over top of us because either we're too scared to do something or we're so cowardly that being nosy could get us hurt. And yes, that's a chance you got to be willing to take sometimes. I joined the fucking army to make a difference. My career got ended before it could begin, and I still want to be in the fucking army because working and not having a real job hasn't helped me one bit. I can't afford to get health insurance. I can't get my life straight because it's like, oh, we'll hire vets, but they don't. Off track. The thing about anything in the world is everybody sees it and nobody wants to say anything. Nobody wants to do anything. Nobody takes preventive measures to stop things. You can talk to your kid over and over again, but the shame of being bullied is going to keep that kid from speaking. I had 2 outlets in my life that kept me from going, if I may quote Star Wars, to the dark side. 3 if you count my ability to draw. I had my comic books. Thank you, Bob Kane and Stan Lee. And I only said that way because it was like alphabetical order. But personally, Stan Lee and Bob Kane, because Batman and X-Men. Enough said on that. I had comic books to fall back on, and they saved my life. They kept me off the streets. They kept me from following my evil thoughts and going to school and cutting these guys' throats up. But the difference was, I got to my breaking point, and I couldn't take anymore. So yeah, I took the bitch way out. I took weapons to school. I literally had my nunchucks in my bag that day. And then I remembered who the hell I was. I didn't need weapons. I could take these guys no problem. I fought in the streets since I was 6 years old, and I let 7 bullies pick on me for 3 fucking years. 3 years. And then when I got to 12th grade, I let a girl pick on me, and a guy picked on me. And Gordy, hey, wherever you are, thank you. Thank you for letting me not beat the hell out of that little blonde-haired bastard that kept fucking with me because he was in the 9th grade and I was in the 12th grade and he was bigger than me. But he doesn't understand that I have a bloodlust. You being a soldier since you were 6, you put my ass out. I appreciate that shit. You saved my life from going down a path that I probably wouldn't have been able to come back from. A path I've been struggling to stay the hell off of because sometimes, just sometimes, you do have to hit somebody in the mouth to make your point or to make them leave you the fuck alone. And I'm pretty sure that was the statement that the Columbine kids were trying to make. I know I went off track a couple of times about that. But in the end, you know, the only reason why there are victims is because the witnesses stay silent. No one really comes forward. The girl on there did come forward, and she mentioned it, and she had forgiven the lady. And I'm not sure if anybody other victims or if their families have forgiven the lady. And it's not my place to judge them. And I wasn't personally involved, so I can't really say I can forgive or not forgive her because it didn't really affect us on the East Coast directly. But I will say this, supposedly forgiveness is the way into the kingdom of heaven. And I'm not going to agree with that or disagree with that. I'm going to let you all be the judge of that on your own. Stay tuned for the second part of the video, providing that I can stop this one.